Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around and talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and we have some shocking updates to talk about today, so let's just jump straight into the video. Starting off, we're talking about safety Ian Kennelly, an undrafted free agent straight out of Grand Valley State University, my alma mater. He is one of the many aforementioned players who have yet to prove his worth this summer, but is getting close. His candidacy for a roster spot is off to a good start, too, after an impressive showing on day one of training camp Sunday. His most notable part of that training camp was a great pass breakup he had, which got both sides of the team shaken, jumping up and down. They fired him up, the Lions' Allen Park practice facility. It was a moment that Kennelly had been working towards for a long time. He had battled through a shoulder injury this June, so having a good moment like that and finally get to put his hands on the ball and be in the game was big for him. He said it felt really good. It's been a long time coming. Kennelly said of the pass deflection, he said it's been a long off season, so just getting to put my hand on the ball felt really good, and getting that experience under my belt was great. Kennelly grew up watching football and rooting for the Lions. Now a member of the home team NFL team, life has kind of had a full circle moment for the rookie, kind of similar to what we said about Tesla. He said it's really a dream come true. The Division II product is in contention for the organization's fourth and final safety position, along with 2025 seventh round pick Dan Jackson, Maurice Norris, Lauren Strickland, and Eric Hallett. So Kennelly also loves having the opportunity to learn from Brian Branch, Joseph, commonly referred to right now as the best safety duo in the NFL. And Kennelly offered high praise for the standout defensive backs. He says, they're two of the best for the right reasons, and you see why. It's because of the way they practice. They come out here and it's max effort all the time, and they hit the field with no time they leave. So let's talk about his stats real quick. His final year at Grand Valley State University, he recorded 39 solo tackles, 25 assisted tackles for a combined 64, and he had 3 interceptions, 6 pass deflections. He had 0 forced fumbles, no fumble returns, no blocks, anything like that. But still, 3 interceptions, whole bunch of tackles, playing for a D2 school. He's really looking good. I saw him a few times in games, so I can personally say he was cool to watch, cool guy to, have on the team now. And just like we said, having that hometown hero, somebody from the state, that's always a great side of the story and stuff like that. So really cool to have Kennelly on the team. Do I think he's going to jump out right as a starter? No, I think he's going to either be a backup, maybe a practice camp guy. You never really know, though. He's starting to get those reps in. He's getting over his injury. It would be really cool to see a hometown hero like him play, just like kind of Tesla is expected to play and get those reps. And I think, while we have Branch and Joseph, especially now that Joseph's on contract, I don't think we're going to see him a whole lot, but we'll definitely probably see maybe a couple preseason reps from him. And it would be really cool to eventually see him as a backup or a potential starter way down the line. So really cool to have a hometown hero. Hey, cool to have a guy from Grand Valley State University. Go Lakers, all that good stuff. And we're going to move on to our second topic of the day, talking about updated injured players right now. So who's injured, who's out right now. This is a big topic, especially because of what happened last season. So before the official start of training camp, the Detroit Lions placed a total of 9 players on injury lists. The second-year quarterback Ennis Rakestraw left the team's first training camp practice this past Sunday early and was being evaluated for a chest injury, according to the team. Rakestraw, who missed 9 games in his rookie year due to multiple injuries, departed with trainers prior to the conclusion of the practice. In his rookie season, Rakestraw had a promised performance in training camp. He told reporters that he was to start nickel cornerback in week 2, but he suffered that injured hamstring and warmups that set off that horrible string of injuries. After splitting time between working as a slot and boundary corner in 2024 last season, defensive backs coach Deshaw Townsend said that Rakestraw will focus playing on the outside this season. He's entering training camp. He is entering training camp viewed as a backup option between starters DJ Reed and Terrion Arnold. Terrion Arnold, of course, being our first round draft pick last year, and we picked up DJ Reed in this offseason. So it's not necessarily a pressing matter right now, but we all know how important depth was last year. And having a guy like him, especially who we drafted, we definitely want to see him on the field and getting reps in. So those kind of injuries are not good. Would I say he's an injury prone risk? at this point, it's time to start looking at it, right? If he's getting injured this much, I wouldn't necessarily say it's confirmed, but I want to see him get healthy, and I want to see him be able to make plays for the team. Having those injuries, that string, if you're not getting the experience this early on, then when you eventually are good to go, you don't have a lot of tape, you don't have a lot of anything to go off of in the big leagues. So hopefully he gets better soon and we can see some stuff out of him. Another injured player Sunday, Lions coach Dan Campbell revealed that Levi Onwuzurike underwent ACL surgery and will miss the entire upcoming 2025 season. He started a career high 10 games and recorded 29 hurries, 13 quarterback hits, and 45 total pressures. Additionally, he earned a career high Pro Football Focus overall grade of 69.4. This was, when he was starting a while ago. After signing a 1-year prove-it deal, the former Washington Huskies defensive lineman has been dealt another injury setback, and he's got to work his way back from it. He missed the entire 2022 season with a back injury, so this marks the second time he has had a significant season-ending injury in the last 5-year career. That worries me, right? You know, these injuries, they're really hurting, especially on defense. And this is just another, oh gosh darn it, moment for us, right? We were worried about defensive linemen. That's why we grabbed one. And now I'm glad we did, because now we have Onwuzurike out. And he was supposed to be one of our playmakers this year. Aside from Onwuzurike, the rest of the players on Detroit's injury list are eligible to return at any time. Someone else to mention is Taylor Decker, who underwent offseason shoulder surgery, but Campbell believes a return target date could be for after the Hall of Fame game for him. So not to worry, he should be back for the regular season, which we need Decker, right? We've been talking about how he's getting older, but those injuries, we definitely need him to stay healthy. Onwuzurike for me is the big one here. It's definitely a huge hit for us. I'm glad we grabbed those depth pieces, but Onwuzurike is definitely one of those guys that we needed to perform. Having him out for the season is definitely going to, be a hit for us. Campbell said we feel like there's a good chance we'll get Deck back after the Hall of Fame game. He's good, just cleaned out the shoulder a little bit. We're going to work with him back to get where he's ready to go, get the strength back, but he's in a good place. Someone else to mention is Josh Paschal. He had surgery that will sideline him likely through the preseason. The Lions are targeting an early September return for this defensive end, perhaps around Labor Day. So not too bad. It's good to have Paschal in, especially with what happened to Hutch last year. I think the big thing to say here is having those defensive backups is going to be huge for us this year. We learned how bad it was last year. Making sure guys are ready to go for the season is going to be huge. So getting those surgeries out of the way, making sure they're ready to go 100% is going to be our main focus. And then just creating depth through signings or bringing guys up is going to be a really big part too. So those are some of our injuries right now. I really hope all those guys get better. Gosh knows we need them. And so quick recovery, fellas, speedy recovery, and I hope you all feel better soon. Moving on to our third topic. Could this be Broderic Martin's chance? So bouncing off of the Levi Onwuzurike topic, who was expected to begin in the 2025 season, and then, of course, working alongside Ali McNeil, who, still in the process of recovering from his torn ACL. He suffered at the end of last season. It is now on the team's reserve linemen to kind of step up and prove themselves like I was talking about. Most notably, the 6'5", 326-pound, third-year pro Broderic Martin. Martin, a third-round pick out of Detroit in 2023, has been anything but reliable through his first 2 seasons in the league, which we've noticed. I was really excited when we drafted this guy because of his size. First of all, his size. He's got this huge arm. Like, his arm length is it's crazy to me. He's got like these natural gifts, and then his skill, his finesse when he plays it's really notable. I thought it was a really great pickup. The Western Kentucky product suffered a knee injury, though, however, with the Lions in the preseason final last year, and proceeded to suit up for only 2 regular season games. He also logged in a mere 28 total defensive snaps. Additionally, across 2 NFL seasons, the defensive tackle has appeared in just 5 games and has totaled only 4 tackles. General manager Brad Holmes expects the 25-year-old to be more consistent heading into the third year as a pro. Of course, he's expecting it, right? We drafted him a little higher, so come on, dude. Time to show up. And the Lions are still confident that Martin will grow into a solid contributor at the NFL level. With the injury to Onwuzurike, there is no better time for Martin to realize his full potential than now. Really, it really is time, right? If there's ever time to nut up or shut up, it's now. In college, he played 53 games, starting 44, and accumulated 143 total tackles, 64 solo. 15 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 5 pass defenses, 1 forced fumble, and a forced fumble recovery. So he's got the college stats to back it up, right? He's an exciting prospect. We just need him to stay healthy and get those reps in. We need him to want it. We really need him to want it. He's gotten to this level. Now we need him to show him that he deserves to be here. The 2025 season is quickly becoming a, put up or shut up year for the 2023 draft pick. I feel like if Martin does fail to perform this season, his spot on the roster will be in jeopardy, right? We can only give a guy so much time. Obviously you get injured, take your time, get better. But then if you're going to start in games and you're not going to do all that much and you're not going to get that many snaps, we eventually do have to do what's right for the team. And while I loved him as a prospect and I was very excited last year and the year before that to see what he was going to do, I can't keep waiting forever on a guy that's going to, consistently be injured. It is a shame, and I'm not saying that the injuries are his fault, but at the same time, the team's got to do what the team's got to do to succeed, and we got to get those guys who are going to be able to fill those slots when our starters are injured. So unfortunate from him. I hope Broderic Martin is ready to go. It'd be really cool to see what he does. But with that being said, let's move on to our fourth and final topic. So our final topic, we just have some updates from some previous video topics. I thought it was worth noting. First off, Anzalone is at camp. That was a big worry for me that Alex Anzalone wasn't showing up to camp. One of the biggest questions that the Detroit Lions were facing was whether or not he was going to be able to practice with us. And the veteran linebacker has been subject of rampant speculation regarding whether or not he was going to either be present during any of the camp period. When asked, head coach Dan Campbell revealed on Sunday morning that Anzalone was present at the team's performance center and would not be holding out due to any contractual matters. He said, "No, not issues that I can really talk about right now," Campbell said. "He's here, reported, did great on the conditioning test, weight's good, and he's ready to go." Campbell indicated Anzalone aced the conditioning test and reported. He's also emphasized that he did not think Anzalone's absence would be a hold-in situation. Anzalone, however, did not practice. He's just showing up and saying, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to go. I want to be on the team." That's what I needed to hear personally as a fan. Jack Campbell seemingly is their heir apparent to lead Detroit's defense in the future, but having Anzalone in the mix serves to strengthen the linebackers unit that has a new position coach at the helm, right? So now that we have that new position coach because Kelvin Shepard stepped up, having the vet like Alex Anzalone, who's been here since the new Lions in 2021, is really good for all the younger guys and is just good for the team in general to have a guy who isn't new and kind of knows what's going on. He's been here, he knows the system, he knows how they want to do things. That to me is great, and he can definitely help the new position coach as well. Position coach can help him. I think they'll be a great duo. So good to have him. I'm glad we got him secured. Tate Ratledge signed. Let's talk about that real quick. That's the real thing I'm excited to talk about. And not to talk about Tate Ratledge so much, but this is definitely worth noting. The Detroit Lions full 2025 draft class is now under contract. Second round pick Tate Ratledge, the final holdout of the Lions class, agreed to his rookie deal on Thursday, pardon me. Teams were delayed in signing second-round draft picks after the Houston Texans broke precedent by signing their second-round pick receiver Jaden Higgins to a fully guaranteed contract. Prior to that, no second-round pick had ever received that much guaranteed in their contract. So under the NFL slotted rookie salary system, Ratledge's contract is worth $7.6 million total and includes a $2.2 million signing bonus with $5.3 million guaranteed. So it's $1.4 million cap hit, and it's only taking about 0.5% of the cap. Okay, cool. That's what we needed, right? We needed just to get him reps because now that he's signed that, he can begin practicing with the team, getting those reps in at center, and Ratledge is probably most likely going to be our center for this upcoming season. So getting him those reps that he needs and getting with the team is going to be huge for us. Very excited, very cool. I hope you guys are excited as I am that we finally got him practicing. He's ready to go, hit the ground running. Tate Ratledge, make Detroit proud, buddy. I am happy you're on the team officially now. With that being said, that is our time for today. Thank you so much for watching Lions Latest. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the signing, what you think about Alex Anzalone, and if you think Broderic Martin is going to step up this season. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I appreciate your guys' support. I will see you in the next video. You guys have a great rest of your day.